Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. My name is Shiham binti Muhammad Hanan. I mean, it's already there, the introduction, but I am the fourth child, third daughter of Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Hanan. And he's no stranger, but I may be the stranger here. But hello, everyone. And welcome to another episode of Ya Bunayya podcast. At this point, I think no introduction is needed. Those who know where Ya Bunayya is basically a space where Baba, Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Hanan, will talk a bit more about not just his books, but basically just topics in life. And every episode is special. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing about the village that supports us, or more specifically, a village that holds us. Okay?
Yeah.
That okay?
Fine, alhamdulillah, inshallah.
Fine with you?
Fine with me.
Okay, yes. A little bit of an introduction in terms of what we mean by village. I think reflecting more about myself and also how I grew up and how Baba and Mama actually brought us up. We have, alhamdulillah, had the opportunity to travel abroad and travel to many spaces in life. One being Canada when we were younger, and during our studies, I was in Melbourne for a while, the family was in Melbourne for a while, and some still are in Melbourne. And right now we're actually based in Perth, where I am actually based. So the village is basically anyone or any space that actually accepts us as family, and kinship that is not based purely on blood, but kinship that is forged through hardship, through friendship, and simply through brotherhood and sisterhood of Islam. And that is what I would say what village means to me. But what would village mean to you specifically?
Shiham, you started by saying that you're the stranger. I'm the man. Doesn't matter the name. There are many unnamed people in this village. But they matter, probably some of them matter most. To me, even if you think that you're a stranger, probably a stranger to many others, but to me, you're one of the ground that I stand on. One of the members of the village. And in this concept of village, the name may not be as significant as the contribution of these members.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Personally, Baba was brought up in a kampung, in a village, in a literal sense. Masjid Hajar Fatimah, Jawa Road.
He will always be very reminiscent every single time we step foot in the car. Once we're like cross that border, I'm like, okay, the story continues. Baba will start reminiscing. Let's give him the space.
Exactly, because that place formed the foundation of what I am today. And truly a village. And kita panggil, we call it Kampung Jawa Road. Now in that village, many people may not be aware that there were people who took care after me and my siblings. Atok, nenek, they were busy. They were community leaders. They were activists in the community.
Something similar, you know.
Yeah.
Mama and Baba as well.
Yeah, so Atok was a politician active in politics. Nenek was in teaching. And the one who took care after me was Atok's cousin from Batu Pahat, Kampung. Another village there. So Atok brought her in to Jawa Road, and she was the person who nurtured me. Not to mention the many other makciks and pakciks, the uncles and aunties. I mean, I'm sure you'll remember during Hari Raya, we enjoy visiting our uncle and aunties.
And sometimes it's like, I'm truly trying to remember, okay, ni pakcik siapa ni, Mak Ute, Pak Ute, ini yang jaga tu. Because sometimes we're not even blood related, but it's like so important for me to still remember and know their significance in Baba and Mama's life.
And they still keep some of the pictures. Remember, I used to ask I used to ask these aunties and uncles for pictures. So these are unnamed individuals, but they were pillars in our bringing. And that is really a village. The ones who took care of us were not just my parents, but also the village. We used to go to their houses like our own, right? They used to take care of us like theirs,
Yeah.
and we treated them like ours. So that's the notion of a village. Probably in this modern sense, the notion of village has changed a bit. It's not physical.
Yeah.
Remember this morning we were talking, Shiham, you are new here, do you have friends?
They ask who is my village here. I'm like, it's been 3 months. I know 2 other people here, but yes, I do recognize the importance of creating that village. And Mama always emphasizes on like, okay, get in touch with the Malay community or like the Islamic community here. You know, you have to be uncomfortable for a while, step out of your comfort zone, reach out and create this space, you know, for the village to grow.
Yeah. But I also recognize that the village now includes the digital village.
Yes.
Because even when we are in Singapore, you all continue to engage with each other. Shifa in Melbourne, your good self in Perth, Kakak and Shada in Singapore. Even when Kakak is having challenges with Ilhan, I remember a couple of days ago when I arrived here, you were busy attending to Ilhan.
Yes.
And this is like 6,000 miles away.
Yeah.
But they still form that village. So I want to think that Alhamdulillah today, the village could also include that digital village.
Yeah.
The ability to engage. So it's not the physical space per se necessarily. It's not the people per se, but really the connections with people who matter.
And I think for me, whenever people ask me, because again, I'm completely new in the city, I only have my husband and 2 other friends here. People ask that, aren't you lonely? Are you okay with that? But I can't explain that I do have my village. They're online, but they're very active. You know, my friends and family are constantly checking up on me. Like if I'm lonely, if I'm bored, they're just a call away. And I'll literally have my friend beside me. They're doing their work. I'll be doing my chore, whatever. But, you know, that kind of presence, I would say that, okay, I don't feel lonely because they're actually there, you know? Yeah.
So in this digital age, or what some call it a global village, made possible by the digital technology and advancements, it may lead to people just isolating themselves in the room, in the digital world, in something virtual, something unreal. But it can also help develop the greater village. Wherever one is. Our family is one example. Melbourne, Perth, Singapore. Then Shadi in Jordan. And we are connected. We are all connected, alhamdulillah. So the village has to be something in our heart. One that we keep in our heart. The concept of that we are not independent. Neither are we dependent. But we are interdependent.
But I think one of my concern is, like I said, I am comfortable with my digital village. And my issue is, and I think another question I will also want advice on is like, I think with my generation, we're a bit different in terms of how do we actually connect with people in physical world, because we're so used to connecting to people online, you know. And I'm not trying to say which is more important, but reality hits that if something happens in Perth, in the physical world per se, I do need someone to be there to support us, or me and my husband in any situation. And it's like, okay, how, I would say my question is, what is your advice to the younger generation in terms of getting in touch with your physical village?
The physical connections will always be needed, and it will not be replaced by AI not the digital village. AI,
Should
the
it?
digital village, they augment and support and complement.
Okay.
But the physical space, the physical connection with people whom we know physically, I think remains important and significant. And I think I do not have to train you all in terms of digital connections. Today, I think, especially the older ones, the senior ones, need to transmit some of these networking skills
Yes.
to the younger ones,
What are those?
right? Now, so you realize, Mom and I, we always include you all in our engagement interactions with people. When we moved to Canada, right? The first thing, this one person, what's her name? The ones who Azida,
Oh, okay.
Cik Azida, and how we connect. Even we didn't know each other before, but we all became really and still one family.
Yeah.
And various others, kan? When we moved to Melbourne, you remember, I introduced you to Pak Abdullah Said, who is like your godfather.
Yeah.
Pak Abdullah Said and Auntie Rashida. And when we come here also, then we introduce, just yesterday or day before, I brought you together with me in meeting my good friend here. So I hope that through those observations, you all learn to pick up some of the skills. I think in this 21st century skills, one of the important skill is collaboration and forging alliance. It means also to make networks and friends. Make friends and create friends, and that must remain important.
Yeah.
You can go everywhere, globalize whatsoever, but the physical connection with people with really real soul is significant.
And I think for us, in terms of like making that village itself, it really starts with that uncomfortable, like, oh, hi,
Yes.
how are you? Where are you from? And that's the thing that, I think my generation really needs to just like break that barrier and just like, okay, I know it's awkward, but you really have to do it for you to actually make that connection. I was blessed enough that wherever we went, our parents was there to like, okay, this is these people, these people. And I was really blessed to have that sort of space, but I don't know, again, now that I'm in Perth, I had to sort of find my foot again and like find these villages and be a villager myself. And that is in the terms of like making new villages. But I think another thing is, especially being away from my village, how do I say, my main village back in Singapore. Another concern is, how do I actually maintain that sort of relationship if I'm not physically there? Or basically, how do you actually maintain your role as a villager and to care for your other villagers?
Sham, this may sound cliche or too chim, but I truly believe in this, and I've written a bit on this. The heart listens, and heart listens to a heart that speaks. So wherever you go, when you speak with your heart, another good heart will listen to you, and they will connect. Right? I think it's very important that we carry that sort of heart. We probably may not have the skills per se. Skills can and will develop. Networking skills, socialization. And some people by nature, they are introvert, like me actually. Right? You know me. Many think that I'm an extrovert, but I'm not. But because it serves a certain purpose and mission in life, so you got to do that. But inshallah, I truly believe that hearts listen, and the hearts listen to other hearts who speak. So when you speak with the heart, with your sincerity, and it comes from your heart, it will go to the other heart.
And I think I definitely feel that in terms of whoever you connect us with, like it's not always like everyone is a nice
Yeah.
connection. You
Yes.
know, there are some people we meet, we're like, okay, yeah, it's out of politeness, we'll just be. But there are really some of our aunties and uncles that Mom Baba introduced us that are really like, okay, that is like such a good fit with our family, because like you said, I think it really is like the heart speaks to the heart.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing about with now, because we moved out around a lot, all these aunties and uncles I have are literally all around the world. So every single opportunity we have, we try to take. So if they're in Johor, we're like, okay, we're rushing to Johor. If they're in Singapore for like 2 nights, we're like, okay, we have to make sure we meet them, you know. And that really goes like a long way in terms of, yeah, you spoke to my heart once 10 years ago, and I've not seen you then, but I remember how they made us feel. You know, and I
Inshallah.
feel like that was our family in Canada, and even in the family or the village I don't want to say the village I left back in Melbourne, but the village that still remains in Melbourne and will always be there if I do return there. So yeah.
And some people, probably you remember, some people ask you or even ask me, how come you, Shiham, you have this uncle, this aunties all over,
Yeah.
and to mention one couple is Uncle Jasir and Auntie Jasma.
How do I
She
explain?
wrote a piece in the in the book, Ya
Yes.
Bunayya. The first one, Ya Bunayya one, as well as the second one, and then even Prof. Sheikh Jasir Auda wrote something for you, as well as Auntie Basma.
Nanti Basma.
These are professors, chefs, scholars, but you all address him as auntie and uncle.
And like you said, Baba still refers to Professor Abdullah, but I'm just like, Uncle Abdullah. That's my uncle and auntie. Because like I don't call him Professor outside, you know. But with Baba, like, okay, yes, that's still your kinship per se. But yes.
Yeah, so that's the thing I'm missing. The village is not in terms of quantity. Certainly in the process, you will shift out, not the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, if you may say, right? And always the those who really matter may not be in terms of quantity. It's not the highest. These are small numbers of really hearts that have connected with ours, but they matter most. So it's not the quantity, it's the quality.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to have like Auntie Jasma and Uncle Jasir. They are in Canada. But
They're always asking about us, and like even like comments on Facebook, we're just like, Auntie Basma, how are you? Yeah, it's really as simple as that. So even when if it's their birthday, Mama would make us like take videos and like, oh, Auntie Basma, or like, Auntie Hafiza, happy birthday, you know. And I think that's the beauty of the digital world right now, because I can still connect with my family all over the world.
Alhamdulillah.
So that's that small moments.
It's that's important, and I think what we need to do also, not just to find village in others, but we be a village to others. Right? The manner we have enjoyed from others, others who have become a village for us, we want to also be a village to others. So we are proactive, and that is basically the amal jariyah, the continuous good deeds that we will do. Others have become that source to lean on, and therefore we want to be a source for others to lean on. And we become a village, and one day, probably a generation after this, they will speak of you, Shiham, of Shifa, of Musabah, that Shifa, Shiham, they were my village.
Yeah.
Just like you talk about Uncle Abdullah, who sometimes I just call Dola, right?
Yeah.
Uncle Dola, right? Auntie Basma and the rest. So I think it's key. It is becoming even more important today in this digital age that we have that physical connection. And it is made possible by the digital advancement. We can communicate with these people through the technology, and that will strengthen our village, inshallah.
Yeah. And I think really in terms of my role as being a village for others, that really happened in Melbourne. So I came there alone. I went to like one Islamic their Islamic club, and I
Yeah.
met like one Singaporean, and I became friend with that one Singaporean, and then slowly like Shadi's friend went to Unimelb, and then I connected with them, and I connected with it goes all the way, guys. So imagine Mama's classmate's daughter, Malaysian, also went to Unimelb, and I'm connecting here, there, and everywhere, and then slowly like we all became a village together, and that I think was the beauty of like seeing how Mama Baba actually made me do. Because like before, I was just like I was entering a village that Mama and Baba already made. But when Melbourne happened, it was really like let's build a village and let's make everyone feel welcome. So you remember 2 years ago during Ramadan when I was there, and Mama was also in Melbourne. Like we invited all our friends to come over for Raya, no Malam Raya, and then we all takbir together, and that was like really like an iconic and pinpoint memory of mine, seeing that, hey, this is the village I made, and I gave them a home away from home, and they are also my home away from home. So, I mean, shout out to the Melbourne family. You guys know who you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the first moment of like, okay, yes, I can do this, and I feel like my role is constantly changing, where before I was like a follower in your village, and then I made my own village in Melbourne, and now I'm
Alhamdulillah.
stepping into another phase of my life alone in Perth, and I'm like, okay, time to rebuild that village. And it's scary and it's daunting, but I told myself that I already experienced the beauty of having the village and being a villager, and I don't want to be left out, and also leave anyone out for that matter of fact. Yeah.
So, Alhamdulillah, if I can, I'm trying to conceptualize and help us in terms of defining a village and defining village of what matters most in the village. I think one is it's not necessarily physical, although I've mentioned we still need that physical connection. So maintaining the physical as well as the digital members, villages. Right. Secondly, the nature of the connections between these members of this village must be primarily the heart. A heart speaks to another heart. Thirdly, again, I mentioned earlier, it's not the quantity that matters. It is the quality of the relationship. It has to be, it has to be spiritual. It has to be based on sincerity, and we leave the rest to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. It is He who connects the hearts. No one else can connect the hearts.
Allah made it happen, and that's why I'm also trying to remember myself, because humans are not meant to live alone and be solo creatures. We are social creatures, and we're meant to be villagers and have a village. And I remember like I just rindu when we were younger, and it was so easy to just go down the block and just like play with any kids who are there, and I don't even know their name at that point. We're just like, just play together. And I feel like I want to bring that back to our generation, for like how when everyone is at home on their phone, As what you mentioned before, is honestly, don't diminish your role as a villager. Don't diminish all the small things you do, as simple as saying hi or bye to your neighbors, because it really matters. And that's the small stepping stones and building blocks of how you build your villages.